Here we go.
Y'all crazy.
Okay.
Greetings and welcome. This is JCBIY Events Talk Show, and I am your producer and director, vocalist John Carr, a star from another galaxy, a soldier of love.
All right. I am Valencia M. I am a singer, a writer, and a performer. I am a shining star. And I am also the host of the JCBIY Events Talk Show. And my co-pilot.
Hey, hi everybody.
We got assistant director this week.
Assistant director.
Yeah. Come on, co-pilot.
Okay.
That's all right. That's all right. That's perfect because we all carry different names, different titles. That's the great thing about being women. So my name is Jordina Yates. I am motivational speaker, career coach, and all around believer in you. And I'm super excited about today's show and our guest today. So I'm excited.
Yay.
Well, we have our guest for today is our topic for today. Let me say that first.
Even though I'm the host.
Is Queendom Mindset with Annette Fletcher.
You go on with
How
it.
are you, Annette Fletcher?
Well, I'm well. Thank you, John, Valencia, and Jordina.
Jordina,
Me.
thank you for being available.
Yes, we are so excited to talk to you. Just the title, Queendom Mindset, makes me feel empowered.
Yes, that is my hope and my intent for the Queendom Mindset. A lot of times people are, because I do have 2 crowns that I do hold under the titles that I have, are like, oh no, I'm not a queen. Or I've met other title holders who are like, why do you identify all of these women as queens? Like they don't have a title, but they do have titles.
Okay, well, so Annette, I need you, since you're gonna make us all queens today, which I'm super excited about.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm not gonna be a queen with y'all.
Okay,
Not all of them.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you very much.
But you just mentioned crowns, so why don't you tell everybody a little bit about those crowns, who you are, and your backstory as well.
Okay, well, wow. I used to volunteer for the Delaware Commission for Women back in the day. And this is pre-Japan, this is pre-Namibia. And they taught me basically to support women and girls and that there are a variety of ways that you can do that. Post Namibia and Japan, I came back and my sister was telling me about a pageant. She does pageantry. I don't do pageantry, or I didn't do pageantry. Like, we should do this. It's for plus size women. Like, it'd be fun. And I'm like, you know what? I've been trying different things. Let's try it. So I paid my money to compete. She was like, I'm so excited. We went to the opening, like the introduction. They gave me my packet. And I'm like, excuse me, you did not give my sister her packet. And it was like, oh, are you competing? She said, no.
She set you up. She set you up. I know nothing about those kind of sisters. I know nothing about sisters.
I ain't even gonna get started with you.
Oh my gosh, like now I'm like rocking, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't wear pageants, I don't do big hair, I don't do makeup, I don't do jewelry, I don't do all this stuff. What am I gonna do? And she was like, you gonna compete, like.
Real simple.
I don't waste, like, I'm not wasting $250, you know, so I'm like, okay. So I go looking for all this stuff. She and her daughter are basically helping me find outfits. And they're like, no, 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 no. And I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Like how, what? And I ain't got no talent. I talk like flag. I can't really sing. I can't hold it where somebody's going to say, oh yeah, that's the voice we want to represent. No, 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 no. I don't have these things going on. So as I work through outfits, they help me narrow down my outfits, and my talent for 2016 was putting on a kimono to the Japanese song Sakura. Okay. And when I practiced that talent, I was in front of my niece who was a teenager at the time, and she was like this.
Wow.
my sister, I didn't understand why she was watching my niece the whole time, but I'm still like putting on the kimono to the music. And when I was done, I bowed and I exited the room. And she was like, I don't like it. She was like, but Laura, you kept her attention for 3 full minutes. Like she was fully engaged in what you were doing. So that. And I was like, look, I ain't fussing with you because I ain't got no talent. This is the only thing I came out with. That's what it's gonna be. And then I was competing with 2 fabulous queens, Ron Shea, Princess Praz Ron Shea, and Sanjay, and I don't remember her last name, but they were fabulous plus-size women doing fabulous things at that time here locally in Delaware. And I was like, I ain't gonna win. Did you see these queens? Did you? I'm just gonna go have fun, do what I do, and keep it moving. So I went and I had a ball. The man who they had 3 men escort us down to announce who we were and who the winners were. I, in pageant form, did the whole real tears.
You cut your pearls. Did you cut your pearls?
Yeah. Y'all picked me. Did you see them? But y'all, what? Okay. And again, I had never won a pageant. I had never competed in the pageant. I didn't know what to do. I was just like, that was cool. That was fun. I'm glad it's over. And then from international was like, baby, no, you got to compete for the international crown now in Philly. And I was like, I got to do it again? No. No. So I really tried to connect with my sister, Ron Shea, but she's a vocalist. So between her practicing her craft and moving on to her next level, that's where she was at. So I was like, okay, but I looked it up like that was an option. I could pass it. I could pass that opportunity to my first runner-up, my sister queen. So I so wanted to pass it to my sister queen. And I was like, okay, I got to do this again. And I did it again and I lost. But this time, like I kind of sort of knew what I was doing in terms of raising money, getting support, finding outfits. Like I tried. Like the first time I was just frustrated, confused, and just like at wit's end trying to figure stuff out with the help of my sister. So the second time it was really me pushing and trying to get this crown, and I lost. My spirit was hurt. I tried to win. Like I actually took time to think about the theme since it was an international theme and what I was doing. And I was proud and excited of how I represented, and I lost. And I went down to Dr. J's and I was pacing back and forth like, I cannot believe I lost. Like, this is crazy. And as I was talking, I started talking about how fabulous the other women were. And how all of them deserved to win because we all had crowns. And as I was talking, God was like, it wasn't meant for you. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. I went from talking to Dr. J to talking to it wasn't for me. I tried to win on purpose. I did what I needed to do this round. This is when you should have given me my crown. And he said, but it wasn't for you. And I was like, how could you say that? And he started identifying the fabulousness in all of the queens that I competed with. And I was like, oh yeah, she would have been nice if this, oh yeah, she would have represented well. Oh, but this, yes, the way it transitioned to date, it could have been nothing but God, because I was mad. But I had lost. And as we were talking, and I was like, we all wear crowns. And I'm like, that's going to be a new series, Wear Your Crown. Just support women and girls, what they do, why they do it, and why it's important, and start recognizing how fabulous women are in the spaces that they're in, period. Now, I did end up taking on the pageant. That was kind of happenstance as well. They gave me the title for 2017. And I was like, hold up. Are you going to keep just passing the title to me because there are no more pageants? Oh, we're not going to do that. Do you know how many fabulous we have here? How many fabulous queens we have in Delaware that can represent this title? Oh no, I'll do it myself. So in 2018, I did the pageant at the George Wilson Community Center. There were initially like 8 contestants, but I think we ended up with 3. Lisa Hanson, Precious Albert White, and Isabel Bradley, 3 phenomenal sister queens. All represented very well. Lisa Hanson won that year. And initially I was like, okay, I'm done. But I was like, oh no, I got to do it again. So we did it one more year down at the Chase Center, and we had 4 contestants. We had Mika James, Marlena Green. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Dawn,
Belgrave Pierce, and Jasmine, and I should know this because I messed it up. So I should actually know what her last name is. But Jasmine was our 4th contestant, and that year, Dawn Belgrave Pierce actually won. So this year, because of COVID, we were scheduled to host another event, but that didn't happen. And everywhere that I wanted to go, we're like, yeah, we were initially going to be at the DuPont. And yeah, I was getting too big for my britches, like for real. But they were so willing to work with me. And then at one point it just stopped. And then they were like, oh no. And I'm like, hold up. So if I do this and we don't host it, and like, what are the requirements or the COVID like stipulations for if it doesn't happen or if this continues? And they were like, oh yeah. And I'm like, well, it's not outlined in the contract. Like, I need you to redo the contract and outline what it says about the COVID piece. And I didn't hear from them again, but this was like in the beginning of COVID, because you want to start pushing everything early.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I can't afford to put that out like for something like, I was looking for smaller venues, and they were just like, we're not doing anything right now. Like that's not what we're trying to do in this season. And I'm like, you know what? It's not going to stop. So this year we did an overview of the pageant from 2016 to basically 2019 and 2020 with the 3 girls or the 3 queens who were registered to compete, 4 young ladies who were registered to compete. And we did a fashion show. The fashion show included 2 local women who were interested in modeling, who participated in our Wear Your Crown speaker series, which after the woman who was presenting and sharing what she does, why she does it, how people can connect to her. Afterwards, we do like pageantry best. We practice how to present, how to speak, how to walk. So if you want to do either pageantry or modeling, you have some of the basics to be comfortable enough to go to a casting call. So they participated in the fashion show, and 2 young ladies one from Namibia and one from South Africa. So I had them submit their information or their walks electronically, and we were able to share with them. So we actually went international this year. It'd be awesome.
So in other words, the Queendom mindset, you kind of, not want to say stumbled into, but you started to develop this after getting into pageantry. So define Queendom mindset. Like, define what the Queendom mindset is.
The Queendom mindset is every individual female supporting and encouraging the women and girls that we encounter on a day-to-day basis. So whether it's sharing what it is they do, introducing them to networks that could potentially enhance what they're doing, or connect them to people who could potentially uplift what they're doing, right? Like vice versa. I feel like it's our job to do that. It's our job to share other phenomenal women, because who else is going to do it? Right. And we don't have the mindset to know and understand that we are all queens and we are all on our individual journeys. And my authenticity may not be yours, but because we are on specific journeys, our imperfections make us perfect in the spaces that we're in to succeed in the vision that we have for ourselves. And other people may not see it. And you may not even see the big picture of what it is you're doing or what it is you're sharing. But when you pass those people on the way that you've either encouraged, connected to somebody, said, I like your smile, or that's a cute outfit. Oh my gosh, it's that smile for me. And then like years later, they come back and they say, oh my gosh, you know, this one day I was here, and you won't even remember. Don't even remember. You're like, Yeah, oh, well, I'm glad that I was able to do that. But like, so what are you doing now? And they let me know that you were able to inspire them into their purpose. Or saw you and they were like, I was like, yo, that chocolate girl used to be doing this at Dickinson and she was playing sports, running around look like a little tomboy, climbing trees, trying to with the boys. And now you talk about she doing pageants and encouraging women and girls. Yes, and you can do the same.
So it's crazy because we talked about this last week. We were talking about celebrating people, right? And pouring into people. We were talking about it in terms of an accountability partner. But I like this queendom mindset because really you're basically saying every female has the ability to be a queen, that you have the ability to share, empower, network, and just kind of celebrate. I mean, that's, celebrate one another. Here's my question for you. Why do women get the stigma that we aren't capable of doing this, that we're catty, and that we function like the Atlanta housewives every day in the real world? Like, why do we have that stigma, and how do we move more people into this queendom mindset?
So unfortunately, society has created that bubble for us of either perfection or setting expectations and pitting against one another to say, if you succeed, then you can't say that this one is successful or has the ability to succeed because she don't look like you. She don't sound like you. She don't live where you live. The economic piece that's associated with the demographics, that's associated with the health and wellness, that's associated with the jobs and responsibilities. We are harder on ourselves as a community of people than anyone else. So because we are hard on each other, the women are just as hard on one another. And a lot of times we don't want to share what our imperfections are. Who does? When people identify them, we be like, no, I'm not Black. I'm mocha or new, or no, I'm not Black. I'm chocolate. I'm something else. I'm caramel. Like, we want to be everything else, but I'm all of those things. And get to a point where you're able to identify we just finished talking about this. We had a Queendom mindset that Rose Hill hosted this morning. And it's important for us to be our authentic selves so that when people come at us with some of our imperfections, that we're still standing strong. You're Black, I am. You broke, I am, and I won't stay this way, so what?
That's right. Talk about it.
And my expectation is better and greater, and not to even go back with them, but to say, you know what, there is some truth to what you're saying, and I'm okay with that at this point because I am a work in construction and I am perfect in my imperfections, and it's okay. Yeah. You okay? Mm-hmm. Like, so I think women in general, in general, because of society, we have put stigmas on one another. Like there was, oh my goodness, I attended Bethune-Cookman, right? So recently we had a graduate who was twerking, I guess, on the campus in front of the sign that said Bethune-Cookman. And that is not what we stand for, but that's totally what we did in college. And that's totally what they do in Florida. So I had mixed feelings about it. On one hand, it's like, oh, yo, we used to be in the gym doing that. Or that's the dance that they do in Florida anyway. But they were like, it was on the campus of Bethune-Cookman College. She did not have to have the backdrop of the logo and like, do you know the image? Mary McLeod Bethune know that she is fabulous. I know that she was a diamond in the rough. And that she
maybe a twerking queen somewhere saw that and said, you know what? Well, I'm going to go to college now. Okay. I'm going to go to college. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, all of those things. So people were really like beside themselves. And I'm like, in this season, there are a number of people transitioning, including myself. So to sit and have time to judge another queen because she's twerking on the campus, which is something that we all did at whatever age it was. It really doesn't matter at this point.
Pretty much.
Why do you even have the time to be going in on this queen about something that she getting paid and recognition and time for? Because you sharing, you responding, you commenting. So the ratings don't look at it as hate. They look at it as love, publicity. You are something that we can promote, connect to, because you done made it from Instagram to Facebook to what's the thing on YouTube? Somebody shared it on YouTube.
TikTok.
Yes, as soon as that started, she just blew up because y'all want to be hating. So unfortunately, misery loves company. Unfortunately, people in general, not just women, love drama. Like, it gets our blood pumping. And there's something about having control over other people when you are able to get them to that point. But when you are operating in your authenticity, you don't get there as quickly. Not saying that we don't get there, because I got moments. But for the most part, being the Queendom mindsets allows you to check that. Mm-hmm. Find yourself like, what and why you that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. We may be able to have a conversation. I may not be the person to speak to her if I feel like we need to have a conversation or someone should have a conversation. It may be someone else. But if I am in this space where I can help, again, support, motivate, encourage, I want to be able to do that. And I want to encourage other queens to start operating in their authenticity and stop letting the mindset of other people or them operating in their inauthenticity to start steering you from where you know you want to be. There are so many of us who knock people off course because we're not on course.
A lot of times it's because we don't have the courage to do what they're doing. And so instead of encouraging and celebrating them, we want to knock them down.
We want to put our fears on them.
Insecurities, yes.
Mm-hmm. You're old for that. You don't have, you're not in shape. You don't have the money for that. You can't. Mm-hmm. You know what? That is no reason to stop anyone. And most of the people who have succeeded, they didn't start off with any of this stuff. And if you actually listen to some of their stories, some of them didn't go to college. People be like, yeah, but you went to college and you did. Do you know how many people went to college and either partied, smoked, and managed to like get that whatever 3.2.5 that you needed just to pass? Those aren't always the people. Those are typically the people who are successful. The people who are like 4.0, because of their cockiness and their arrogance, sometimes they don't get it, or they don't get to connect to as many people because they're like, I got this, I'm focused here, but you can't get there by yourself.
Yes.
Who you are and what you're doing. At no point in time, even if people say, oh, I did it myself, I know, baby. You really need to sit down and be mindful of who is in your space, who some stepping stones in your space, even those people who were hating on you, because you wouldn't have been in your bag about whatever it is to be like, I'm gonna prove them wrong, to be able to make it to your next level. So, I mean, not for nothing, I got love for some of the haters, because I'll be like, you hating on me because you think that? That's cool. Oh, gosh. Huh. And that lets me basically see, like, you mean you think that I have the potential to do this, or that I'm this or I'm that? I have never. Some of the things that I hear, I'm like excited about, because I'm like, you think that's me?
That's good that you can reverse that mindset and see it that way, because some people in life can't. Once we start to realize that all life within nature is connected and linked together, including us, it leads down that road of the three things Jordina touched on our last segment, on different segments about the three things that keep us from being successful: fear, comparison, and procrastination. So as I hear you talk, I'm just reliving those three things, Jordina, Annette, Valencia. It's so pertinent, and just to have that a part of my life now that you spoke of, Jordina, it's like I'm going bonkers.
Yeah.
Every time I hear a person talk, I'm like, yeah, the three things, you know what I mean, keep us from success. You know, it's the truth because it all aligns with believing in yourself. These are the things that stop you from believing in yourself to go to the next level or to get out of the starter's box. And I love hearing you express yourself. You are phenomenal, you know, so being a native here and resident of Wilmington.
Something happened to your sound.
Yeah, John, you're going in and out.
Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Yeah.
That's better. Yeah, I always get blamed for leaning forward, but when I go back, you know, you can't hear me. So I'm going to lean forward and just look crazy.
With your whole face in the camera?
Yeah.
Is that
All
what
of your face in the
we'll all
camera.
do it. We'll all do it
Yeah,
together.
let's all do it together.
You don't look crazy.
Okay, everybody, let's.
Everybody
But,
lean in.
Lean in, lean back, lean forward.
You know what I end up stumbling on basically today during the workshop that I had was, in order to be your authentic self, we, like you said, John, we have to get to a point where we're mindful, like where I don't know if it's called the third eye, but you're listening more and able to receive the energy and the space and the people that are around you, and that you have a better level of understanding of it. But in order to do that, you have to be more mindful. You have to take time within yourself to sit back and to even reflect on your day. What worked today? What didn't work today? What could I have done better today? You know what? I need to get back to doing this. I used to do this every day. And one day I was doing that and I told my coworker off. Like I read her and I didn't mean to, but I did.
I'm glad you did it.
Like at the time, I didn't realize I did it. But that day, like that evening when I was sitting home, like what did I do today? What worked? What didn't work? You know, what could have changed? And I was like, oh, that was so mean. So when I went back to her the next day, and that, you know, there's something humbling about apologizing to people. And I was like, Natalie, I am so sorry for you. And I don't remember what I did, but I was like, I'm so sorry. Like I did not need to do this or to handle this, you know, that way. And I just want to apologize. And she was like, baby, I know, I understand. And it was this, and I was like, it's not okay. And it's okay for you to say that was okay. And whether it made you feel some kind of way or not, in my reflection, I realized that it was inappropriate.
But it's awareness. You had awareness. And that's what we're talking about. Sometimes it's self-awareness, but then it's also that outward awareness about how other people affect your energy, how you affect other people's energy. I am determined not to play off other people's energy and have people play off mine, right? Like, and so there's a level of awareness that you're talking about that every human being needs to have, because you're going to have moments, right? You talked about not winning the pageant. And it's like you won the pageant that you didn't really want to enter, that you didn't really prepare for. And the one that you put your heart into, that you practiced and you prepared, you didn't win. And so, but you chose how you responded in both of those situations. And other people would have taken that loss and it would have devastated them to the point that they wouldn't have been able to take over the pageantry like you did in the years to come. They wouldn't have been able to inspire and motivate other people. They would have lived in that loss instead of stepping into what you're talking about, which is that Queendom mindset in terms of sharing, empowering, and network. And so when I listen to you talk, not that it's a play on the plus size thing, but for me, I keep hearing one size doesn't fit all. One size doesn't fit all. And so because as a queen, I go a different way, or I take another approach. It doesn't mean the way that Val does it or the way that you're doing it isn't a good approach too. One size doesn't fit all. And it's okay that You know, you talked about the student who had a 4.0 or a student that had a 3.2 that partied their way through. It doesn't matter. They both ended up getting done. One size doesn't fit all, right? One size doesn't fit all. It's okay for you to have to put on a different size shirt or a different outfit and find what works for you. And so I think that's phenomenal. I mean, I know you guys probably, there's some housekeeping stuff that we'll do in terms of some sponsors and stuff, but when we finish that, I really wanna hear about some of these workshops, and I wanna hear about how other women can become involved in some of the stuff that you're doing so that we can change the narrative that women don't understand how to empower other women and that we're catty. I wanna change that. So we want to hear a little bit more about your workshops and some of the things that you're doing and how other people can get involved, for sure.
All right.
Can I give you an intro to that question there? Annette and resident here in Wilmington, right? A well-known artist, you're a mentor, model, and pageant coach. Explain to us what is Wear Your Crown workshop.
The Wear Your Crown Speaker Series is an opportunity for women, not only locally, but nationally and internationally, to share with other women what they do, why they do it, why it's important, and how they can connect, or how women can connect to them, whether it's for information, resources, or for the services or the products that they may be providing. So we've had students, our first series had 6 women. Our second series had 21 women.
Wow.
This year, I think we had maybe 18 because we ended up, the COVID ended up happening, but we were still trying to do it via Zoom, Facebook, or Instagram. And some of them were able to connect and make it happen. Some of them were in my podcast, which is entitled Queendom Mindset. So in terms of how we support and encourage women and have their stories out there for other women to check, to listen to find, to connect to, I just think that is important. And that is the intent of the Wear Your Crown Speaker Series. So that is one that typically happens from January to May. And initially it was every Tuesday. Now, since we do some of them virtually, they've been basically varied. This year, they were when women were able to connect, and I would create a flyer and push it out as soon as I had it created so that women can tune in or watch and or listen to them. We are also working on 2 other initiatives. So one is Pageantry Best, but it will prepare people who are interested in modeling. So we're going to probably be in the parking lot of the Planned Parenthood Center, which is here downtown, working with women and girls who are interested in getting into pageantry and or modeling. So we'll be practicing basic stance, basic turns, presentation, walking in poise, and we have a competition coming up, or at least that I'm working on, that's called Quintessential Appeal. So we'll have people submit via Instagram using hashtag Queendom Mindset, themselves walking and presenting, and pick 7 of those women or men to compete in the Quintessential Appeal. And there are like 3 categories that we have for them. But the idea is to promote women and girls, promote people who are interested in getting into modeling or pageantry.
Listen, she's a queen. Leave your little queen alone. She's a queen.
You gotta watch them.
I saw her head here, and I was like, hold up.
I see her.
So let me ask you a question, Annette. Why you mentioned the men? So you're gonna have men models in the Queendom Mindset as well?
Well, the Quintessential Appeal is about people who are interested really in modeling, and it gives them an opportunity to show their personality, their style, and basically to be judged on it. And it gives the Queendom Mindset an opportunity to promote what it is we do by not limiting it to just the women and girls. Because at the end of the day, the men, we need y'all. And at the end of the day, for me, okay, I'm gonna give y'all a little secret.
Wait, let me lean in. I'm gonna lean in on this one.
Women actually encourage and promote the men.
and they feed off of half the stuff that we do, but y'all know that we can't say that. So if we just present well and connect on the level that we need to, like the Queendom mindset, they get it and they'll start being just as empowered.
That's right.
It's like pressing, encouraging of one another as we are, because unfortunately they are kind of competitive and they're like, yo, they got it going on over there. Yo, dude, come on. If these women can do it, we can do it. So in my head, I'm like, if we can get the Queendom mindset together, all these women out here like, I need a man or I need this, they won't have to need anything because they'll have everything that they need. And when they're ready for them, they will be ready for their king, and it'll just mesh. It'll just work. It won't be forced. It won't be you trying to impress or to do. No, this is where I'm at. This is what it is, faults and all.
So Annette, what age group are you talking about? Like in terms of the Wear Your Crown series and your Queendom Mindset workshops and the quintessential
there is no age limit.
Oh, so you already know. I'm ready to walk then. I'm ready to
It is, I believe, 21 and older because of the categories that are going to be listed.
For which one? For which one? The quintessential?
The quintessential appeal.
Okay.
I believe 21, 18 or 21 plus.
Okay.
For the modeling classes in the parking lot, that's any age. Like, bring your 4-year-old. If she's ready to walk in the turn or to see all of those women walking and turning, because she's going to get it if she in the place. Yeah. You can bring her as well. The Wear Your Crown speaker series is also for all women. The youngest I've had was my niece, who is in high school. She was I think she was a freshman at Del Castle. And she's studying videography or something, but she's into that. So she shared her story, what she does, why she does it, and what she hopes, it to accomplish or do for her and how people can connect to her. But I'm hoping to get young women, old women, middle-aged. I need to have a range of women because we all have something to share. I had my first year, I was talking to people and I had housewives who were like, I don't do nothing. Are you serious? You run a whole entire household. Do you know the time management skills that you need to maintain to make sure that the kids are at soccer practice, the food is done by the time you get home, you have already brought the groceries that you needed, and your husband and the kids that are allergic to this and that, you already disseminated, look, I gotta cook this in this pot, because they ain't gonna eat this, and this actually, this top. Right. Let's say it again. And she had to laugh to herself. And she was like, what? But like, who wants to hear from me? And I'm like, do you know that there are people who authentically don't know how much it is that you do? Able to share your story and the work that goes into it. There are some real life people who would be like, oh, I don't have the time. I couldn't even. Oh, wait, you mean you got them in classes? They all got their all separate classes in different locations? And this one has an allergy, so you got to prepare a whole different meal. Like, hold up, you got meal plans? That's not even talking about the husband, because that's another child in itself that you don't manage and deal with. I mean, I'm just saying, we as caregivers, we want to make sure our households have everything they need to be successful. Helps us as well.
Every woman.
When things are moving and working, so that's not to diminish our.
But it's the truth, though. It's the ultimate truth. That's a whole nother child there. And I'm telling you, it's like we just big ass babies. Don't get out of it.
I've attempted to date, and I'm just like, I've worked in early childhood, and I don't necessarily have the patience to deal with some of these things. Now, some of them, I blame myself because I allowed it. You know, like me being my authentic self, I'm like, yeah, this is what we're not going to be able to do. But thank you. That was fun. And because I don't lie and I can't help it, I definitely know that I'm not for everybody. So if I'm going to be by myself for a minute and just have a little friend on the side, then that's what it's going to be. That's just what it's going to be. And I'm going to be okay with that.
Okay.
that's where I'm at this point. But the shenanigans and some of this stuff that they do, I'm like, okay, did you hear what you just said? Did you hear what you did? Okay, just let me play this back for you. And you're okay with what you just said and what you just did. Okay, yeah, no, I can't. My coworker was like, how do you do that? And I'm like, because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And if I'm honest, some of the meanness I actually enjoy. So it just works.
Well, so what I love is that, you know, part of being inclusive in terms of, you know, what you're doing is super important, because a lot of times as women, we won't participate in things or we won't attend things because we think we're going to be in the company of people that aren't at the same place as us, or maybe not, you know, that we don't feel comfortable. And so I think by you talking about, you know, welcoming a housewife, welcoming a twerker, welcoming like whomever, it's about come as you are, right? Come as you are, and you're gonna walk around and be enriched. You're going to have the ability to interact and hear from other women who have lost, who have failed, who have juggled, who have done all of these things. And you may think that it was easy, but the reality is that everybody had a journey to get there. So I think I love that the Queendom mindset is all inclusive. That, you know what I mean, from 8 to 80, you know what I mean, like 8 to 80.
Yes.
Whatever economic background you come from, whether you have a degree, whether you don't have a degree, whether you have kids, whether you have a husband, whether you don't have a husband, it's all inclusive, and I love that.
We have to be. In this season, we have to be.
Yeah, and our communities need it. It's long overdue.
Yeah,
it's long overdue.
I agree. I totally agree, and I think it's imperative for the women to kick it off, because our younger generations are watching us and how we engage and how we interact and what we do and how we respond to some of those things. And we got to do it.
We need to be leading by example as far as embracing the differences that are within us all. And it doesn't matter if we're, you know, all women or all Black women or whatever, like we all have differences, but we need to learn how to embrace all of that. Because if everyone was the same, how boring would this world be? I need variety in my life, honey. I need that variety.
Do y'all see those? You can't really see those dolls back there.
Yeah, we see them.
Mm-hmm. So those dolls, they're Asian, they're Japanese, they're African, they're European, and like everything that you can think of. Mm-hmm. Right. People, when they think of queens or when they're talking to women about empowering and whatnot, you do automatically go to your own people. Like it's reflexive. Right. But you do need to open that up. Mm-hmm. Again, I do believe at the beginning of it, it's about us not. Oh, she washed her hands. I hear her sing that. It is important about identifying our authenticity first, mm-hmm. and learning to be more mindful. So I, in this season, am learning to be more mindful, because with COVID and everything, we will drive ourselves crazy. Girl, I was listening to people coughing like, but look, I had on like a shirt, a jacket, and like a coat, and I was sweating, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's my temperature running. And I got like way too many layers. Took the layers off, like you need to come. And I was making myself crazy. Like I was making myself crazy, and I was like, you need to stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Get it together.
Yes, I really had to tell myself, like, stop. You need to breathe, relax. Everything you already do anyway is good. You already wipe down your workstation. Just, right. I don't know why, because I think the state is nasty. So I do wipe down my space, even for this. When I come home, you know, you're washing your hands because you have been outside. Like some of the routine things that you do anyway, and you should be of other people, because if you've ever been in a public restroom, you know that there are some less than stellar people who will walk into a stall, use it, and fluffing their hair.
We're not gonna frighten the people today, but you're right. We're not gonna frighten.
That you should always wash your hands. You should be respectful, like the kids, like you tell the children to cover your mouth when you cough. And if you're actually sick, don't come into work. Then, okay, my eye is jumping. I'm not going.
But listen, this thing. Listen, COVID forces you to learn lessons that you should already have, right?
Yeah.
Like it's basic decency to cover your mouth. It's common sense. Wash your hands. Like it's common sense. Don't touch something that looks all like, you know, some of it's common sense, but it's also in us being forced to be in the house and being quarantined. You are now forced to deal with yourself. You should have always dealt with yourself, right? Like you should have always been dealing with yourself. Right. But now you don't have a choice because now you locked in the house. And so you locked in the house by yourself, or you locked in the house with somebody you don't want to be with, or somebody you do want to be with. But whatever it is COVID is making you, it's making you aware. It's like, it's bringing back what you were talking about in terms of, and John mentioned, about being aware, whether it's self-awareness or aware of your surroundings. And, you know, that's why during this time, more than anything, people need these resources that we've been talking about, so that they don't feel like they're on an island, whether they're in the house by themselves or whether they're quarantined. So COVID to me, like, I gotta tell you, I know everybody's over it, and I too am tired of being in the house, but I have enjoyed 2020 because it has forced awareness. It's just forced you to deal with things that maybe you didn't want to deal with. And so, all right, so here's what I want to know. I want, because you know I'm taking my notes now. I want you mentioned the Queendom Mindset podcast. Where can I find the Queendom Mindset podcast?
Well, let me see. We are on Apple. We are on, we actually started through Anchor, and Anchor has us on 7 outlets. Hold on, I can tell you, because I think I put it somewhere.
So it's just, and it's just, is it just called Mindset, Queendom Mindset?
Oh, Queendom Mindset. So the cool thing is, I think only one of some hairstyle. Oh no, am I gone? Oh, Queendom Mindset. If you type it into Google, they will come up. So apparently it's in Europe somewhere too, some podcast that I've never heard of before. But they are, I don't, yeah.
Listen, let me just tell you, I just Googled it. It was the first one that popped up. Queendom Mindset, Big Beautiful Women Delaware in 2020 follows through. Yeah.
Awesome.
So it was very easy for me to find.
Awesome.
Well, how can people get in contact with you who want to sponsor, who and also want to participate? You know, we want to make sure that people are linking with you. And when we put the video on YouTube, we'll put that in the description but just tell everyone anyway. Okay,
so you can connect via Facebook, Instagram, email. My email address is Big Beautiful Woman Pageant, de@gmail.com. I do respond to Instagram messages, Facebook messages, legitimate Facebook and Instagram messages. And if you're on my page and you ask a question, I typically try to respond there as well. The podcast is on Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Overcast, Breaker, and Google Podcasts. And recently, I think I saw it on Apple's as well. So if you look up Queendom Mindset, again, the podcast should come up. I know we're on Spotify because I use Spotify. So any social media outlet you see BBWPDE, it's me. You can hit me up. and I'll be more than happy to connect with you and to share information or resources that you may have that might promote or enhance the lives of our women and girls.
So I'm volunteering for our host here and myself. Your Wear Your Crown series. We want to participate. We want to, you know, part of the reason that we do this talk show is really about giving back and making a positive impact in the community. And so your Wear Your Crown series, you have two queens here that want to empower and motivate other women and young girls. And so I'm volunteering for Valencia and over there and myself.
She is so pushy and bossy. Okay.
Listen, she's the big.
She's younger than me. Okay.
Listen, she's the older sister, but I'm the bossier one. So I'm volunteering for both of us.
Listen, it's always like that with the youngest. Y'all just take over. You step up and take charge. I love it. I love it.
So we are on the record here. You know, whether it be another one of your Queendom workshops or your Wear Your Crown series, you have us as volunteers as well.
So you queens need to give Annette your information.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you can reach me. You can reach me at chosencareercoach@gmail.com. And then obviously, Annette, we're going to exchange information. I mean, like I said, I am super excited about this Queendom mindset. Plus now all day today, I'm going to put some heels on and walk around the house, practice my body.
We got to get used to heels again, okay?
Right, that's why I said around the house. Let me do it around the house. I ain't been...
My sneakers, because there are typically only two people in our office these days. So what I do is I carry my shoes into work, but I have a pair of shoes sitting underneath my desk just so that I can get my ankles right. I was for creative design as a fundraiser for the Fashion Steppers. And I was like, I need to get these ankles right because they were, we've been chilling this whole time and you're going to put us in heels for why?
Right.
I haven't been in a heel since March 1st. March 2nd was the last time I done wore a heel. Okay?
Oh, Lord.
So y'all got some practicing to do.
We have some practice. So I may have to meet in the parking lot. I'm going to need the address so I can meet y'all.
I got some ankle supports, knee support. I'm like, Lord, I need to get back. And they had a virtual casting for Philly Fashion Week. So I don't know whether they're going to do something or not, but I'm like, I want to be prepared. We bought masks with their Love in My Curve sign on it. And we already have our t-shirts if you've already been in the show before. So I'm like, let me get my stuff together. Y'all play it. If something's gonna come up and I'm gonna be ready. If nobody
That's right.
I'm ready.
Oh my God.
That's right. Stay ready. So give the rest of that information.
Okay, so again, if you want to connect to me, you are more than welcome to through our podcast, which is Queendom Mindset. And you can find us on Spotify, on Radio Public, Overcast, Breaker, Google Podcasts, as well as Pocket Cast. And I believe we're on Apple now too. If you're interested in the pageant or the Wear Your Crown speaker series, you're welcome to either hit me up on Facebook. BBWP is our handle on Instagram. Big Beautiful Woman Pageant, DE is us on Facebook. And we are here to support and encourage women and girls, not only in Delaware, but especially here in Delaware. But we are open to receiving all women who are interested in being a part of our Queendom. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, not a problem. Jordina, I think you didn't give her your cell number. You started with your information.
Yes, I gave her my email. Let me give you my cell as well. It's 856-265-4927.
Okay, and I'm gonna text you now just so that you're not like,
And
No,
Valencia,
that's perfect. That's perfect. We appreciate what you're doing, and I know you don't do that so that people say that to you, but I think it's important when you are giving back and you're giving from within your talent that people acknowledge that. And so I just want to acknowledge and thank you for the work that you're doing with women. Women empower women. And so I'm super excited about that. So thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you for sharing.
I appreciate the opportunity to share. John, okay, and this is the last piece. John is the one who really got me into the pageant. So I started putting it together. I did create tickets and things, and I think John was like, give me a few tickets. And I was like, okay, here are a few tickets, whatever. And he came back with money for the tickets. And I was like, huh? You sold tickets to the pageant? Like, real? Like, he was like, yeah, here's the money. I'm gonna need a few more. And I was like, okay, I got work to do. Let me know. Okay, we got tickets sold. We are going to have a fabulous show. And that he gave me my reality check. Like, Annette, you're on. And I was like, okay. I did it a couple of times.
Well, listen, I knew that you are beyond phenomenal, and I do what I do when that energy is transcended.
John, we're losing you again, John.
Hey, I like this forward thing.
I don't think it's forward. I think it's over. There you go.
Where's your microphone? Oh, Mike.
There it is.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to say this because we have about 6 minutes left, and I want Valencia M to give her information to you as well. I know you to be beyond phenomenal. I believe in you. I believe in what you're doing. So you will always have my support. I even go back to the first time I met you, and I said, in a nutshell, I like her. I want to work with her. And here I am,
years later,
directly and indirectly working with you because of COVID. It's not stopping nothing,
Mm-hmm.
And you are going to be the instructor that I bring in when I start my Friday fashion show, my Friday event with the fashion show, because you're just beyond phenomenal. You're a star from another galaxy as well. So with that being said, I'm going to let Valencia M give you her information, being as though Jordina, her sister, volunteered her as well to be a part of the Wear Your Crown series. So give her your information.
Send it to her.
Oh my goodness.
That works. I can't mistake anything.
Please give it to her.
484-995-8649.
And say it again without laughing and choking. Please go.
484-995-8649.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, John.
I'll send it to you through Messenger. I'll send you all the information too. Okay.
All right. Perfect.
Awesome having you. We have about 5 minutes. I'm going to say what I need to say so that my crew can say what they need to say. They're going to have the last words. Again, I love you. I need you. I respect you, and I care for you. I believe in you. Thank you, Annette Fletcher, with the Queendom mindset.
And I'll let the host wrap it up. I'll just say, like I said to you, Annette, I appreciate what you're doing for women and young girls. We need more of that. We need more people to share, empower, network, to pour into, and just celebrate all the things that make all women wonderful. And so we so appreciate all that work that you're doing. And we look forward to working with that Queendom mindset. Listen, don't give me a title, because I'm gonna walk around all day today, very fancy, just so you know. I've got queen with it. Queen.
I'm sorry, I've already seen you move and work a room. So
yes, listen, don't threaten me with a good time. I'm there, okay? Don't threaten me with a good time.
So let me say this before our host has the last minute. Annette.
Yes.
The social networking event we did where Jordina was the keynote speaker. And again, she educated us on the 3 things that keep us from being successful, which is, again, fear, comparisons, and procrastination. And I encourage you and everyone to go onto our YouTube channel, JCBIY Events Talk Show, and watch those. But I need you, Annette.
Yes.
Your network to have her come out and speak So
Yes.
whether it be virtue or in the place, now that you have her contact, watch that.
Yeah.
We need to keep that message going in the community as well.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I am definitely, yes. Yes.
She only charges $100 right now. Love offering.
You can get why it's hot.
Get him while it's hot. Get him while it's hot.
Yes.
Decision price.
Our communities need that. You understand what I'm saying? Our
Yeah.
communities need that. So let's make that happen together. I'm going to keep on pushing on that as well. I'm going to turn it over to our assistant director and host.
And host.
Thank you so much. All that information was phenomenal. And I'm, sharing it on YouTube and sharing it on Facebook. I'm hoping to connect you with some women who really need your help, to empower them, to make them feel good about themselves, and to be able to encourage each other. I mean, that's really important. We absolutely do need to do that. So I'm just gonna say thank you, and we're gonna wrap it up. I don't know what else I'm supposed to be saying. He always doing
Say
that.
whatever needs to
Oh
be
my
said.
God. Anyway, so thank you everyone for watching. Make sure that you subscribe and share, and remember to eat like you give a damn about yourself and believe in you.
All right.
All right.
Love y'all.
Yes.
Respect y'all. Be careful, y'all.
Bye.
Till next time.
See you guys.
Wait, did you
Bye, cutie. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.